Hi everyone, it's Rohan, no longer Canoe. Um, uh, we were recycling Canoe's lab walkthroughs from spring 2022, which did a super great job. Shout out to Canoe. But we decided to change a few things this semester. We decided to split up Lab 2. So now there's Lab 2A and Lab 2B. And, in line with that, we've changed a few questions. So you get me now. I get to do a lab walkthrough. Yay. And it's actually super cool. I'm super excited I get to do this because I would always see Canoe doing this and I'd be like super jealous because it seems super fun. And now finally I can do it. So let's get right into it. Alrighty. So by this point in the lab, you've seen Boolean filtering, you've seen how it works, got an idea of how to do with that. And now we're gonna shift gears slightly. We're gonna focus more so on string methods, right? Panda string methods. Well, anytime I'm confused in Panda as to what something is, as to how it works, what is it really? My first thought is to just look up the documentation. So pandas, string functions, what are they? Okay, text data. That makes sense. We're working with strings. Uh, I'm gonna quickly skim this for now because I have read this before when I was a student, but if you're interested, please take the time to read it. I'm just gonna go through some parts which I think are like, super important. So firstly, series and indexes are equipped with, a set of string processing methods. So not data frames. So not an entire table, not an entire data frame, like a single column, a single series, a single index. Okay, so that's something good to know, but where we can use string methods, where we can't. And like, what are they? What do they do? So for example, they define a series here, A, B, C, Aba, Baka, Nan, Kaba, Kabo, Kaba, and so on and so forth. They do s.string, so that's letting pandas know that hey, what I'm using here is a string. It's a string method. It's just all string data. Don't worry about it. And then dot lower. It just makes everything lowercase. Interesting. They do similarly dot upper, making everything uppercase. Cool, cool. They do dot length, so they get the length of everything. A is one, B is one, C is one, ABA is four, so on and so forth. Nice. Is there anything else? Oh, strip. What's that? Well, that's just them stripping like the trailing white spaces. So like the white space in front. L strip is, stripping the ones on the left side. Or right strip is stripping the ones on the right side. What else? Oh, um, string dot replace. Interesting. What string dot Whoa, there's like a lot going on here. And I'm not going to go through every single string method right now, just because that would be a super inefficient way of doing it. You will get through plenty of experience working with string methods in, this lab and the homework and future homeworks and all. So for now, we're just giving you a quick short sample of everything you can do with it, right? So, but okay, cool. Let's get into it, right? So what's going on here? So something I love to do when I'm working with you know, on a notebook is I just love to like open up cells right over the cell I'm working in just to brainstorm. I can see here that they're taking baby names, name, string dot length, and they're going like, what happens when you run it? Well, firstly, what is baby names name? Oh, that's just the name of a bunch of baby names, and then they do dot string, just saying, hey, it's a string method, and dot length. Yeah, Mary has 4 letters, Annie has 5 letters, Anna has 4 letters, Margaret has 8 letters. Long name. Cool. Um, okay, interesting. Let's use that to solve a problem, or not that, but let's use string methods to solve a problem. So question 6a asks us to add a column to baby names named first letter, which contains the first letter of each baby's name. And they give us a hint that you can index using string methods similarly to how you'd normally index Python strings. Or you can use string.get. Uh, for now, we're just going to focus on the first, index. For the first int, please, if you're interested, take some time to look at that too. So I know that I want to add a column to baby names. So I opened up a cell above because that's what I like to do. Uh, which columns could be helpful? First letter of each baby's name. Well, instantly the name column strikes out to me. Name, okay. And the first letter of each baby's name. How do I get that? Well, you could index using strings similarly to how you normally index Python strings. So how would we index Python strings? Let's take the first name, Mary, as an example, right? Well, we can just do Mary 0, and then we just get M. So similarly, we want to do something here. First, we say it's a string method. All right, fair enough. And then we just do 0. And, yeah, looks about right. I think it was Mary, Annie, and Margaret, Helen, something like that. But looks about right. So we have something here, and we want to add a column to the baby names data set. Well, how can we do that? We can just say, um, baby names, and then say like, hey, this is the column we want, and just set it equal to each other. So let's see how it comes out. Voila, pretty tight, pretty tight. Let's go. Um, okay, cool. So that was interesting. We used string methods to get something interesting. Well, I think it's kind of interesting, but I understand if you make an argument that it's not interesting. But we don't need to get into that right now. Um, I think interesting analysis can be conducted off this, regardless of whether or not you think it is interesting at this point in time. But anyways, let's move on, right? Let's move on to question 6b, the final question in the lab. Woo! In 2022, how many babies had names that started with the letter A? Now this is interesting, because now we can actually conduct analysis with it. I'm excited. Let's go and do that. Before I really get started on this question, though, I do want to give a disclaimer that as of fall 2023, which is when I'm recording this video, there is a bug on the public um, Jupyter notebooks on DataHub, which essentially says that the correct solution causes you to fail the tests. This bug, will be fixed for Gradescope, and it's fixed in the walkthrough. So when you submit on Gradescope, you will get full credit for the correct solution, for the walkthrough solution. So it's okay if you fail these tests, essentially. Um, but yeah, sorry about that. Uh, but anyways, let's just get into it, right? Uh, so what's going on? Okay, how many babies had names that start with the letter A? I'm a little bit, I don't know where to begin. I'm gonna open up a cell book, brainstorming, baby names. Okay, cool. Instantly, I'm thinking baby names underscore 2022. Interesting variable name. Oh, in 2022, how many babies had names that start with the letter A? So let's only look at when the year is 2022, right? Good thing is we've done Boolean filtering in this lab, so we know exactly how that works. Am I right? Excellent. You just say year is equal to 2022. You wrap it inside, brackets. Voila. You have a beautiful data frame. So now we've defined this baby names 2022, right? Let's look at what that looks like. It looks like this. How many babies had names that start with the letter A? Well, instantly I'm thinking another Boolean filter, wherever the first letter is equal to A. That makes sense, right? Because we generated this column last time. Pretty tight, pretty tight. And so again, I say this is the condition I want. So you can see, we get a bunch of trues and falses. And I grab it inside a list. Voila, 2022 and a bunch of A's. So let's put it in here. Okay. And now what's going on? Now we need to get the number of babies with names that start with the letter A. Instantly, there's this count column, which is super helpful, right? Okay. So it seems like we just want to sum across this column somehow. And then we'll be good. Am I right? Yeah. Okay. How can we do that? Well, I do want to let's go back to lecture 3. Um, you know, here's something that Professor, I think it was Neruzzi, did this. Uh, went over the slide, but essentially what she did was she pulled out the count column here, and then she just did a np.mean of it. Well, over here, we're not interested in np.mean, we're interested in a sum. So let's try that, right? Boom, that looks right. That works. I just want to show you guys another syntax that also works. You can just do this, and then you can just do dot sum. Um, Either way works. Keep in mind that the NumPy functions are slightly different to the functions that are inbuilt to pandas, because this is essentially just a function which is inbuilt to pandas. The super basic ones like sum and I believe mean and I believe like max, min are built into pandas, but NumPy obviously has like a lot more like, really into it. But we're not gonna get into that now. For now, we can just copy paste this, put it in here, bam. And this is the correct answer. Again, I would like to repeat that the official autograder like tests fail. Um, so, you know, don't worry about it. Sorry, not the official autograder test. The notebook tests fail because of a bug that we released. So don't worry about that. However, the Gradescope tests do pass, so you will receive full credit for getting the right answer. And yeah, other than that, sorry about the bug. Again, this bug is only for fall 2023. If you're watching this in a future semester, this bug, I hope, has been patched. But for fall 2023, there's a small bug. There's a clarification about it on Ed as well. But you should still be able to get full credit by watching, hopefully, this correct walkthrough. And yeah, this has been super fun for me to, finally get to record like my walkthrough, my first walkthrough. Um, I always wanted to do these, and I'm glad I got to do them. But thank you for, bearing with me. Thank you for taking the time. Congratulations on finishing the lab. And I hope to see you guys in a future walkthrough. And I don't know, like and subscribe to the Data 100 YouTube channel. Goodbye.